Joining us, here are the facts and figures about the hill. 90 meters is the calculation line from which distance points are calculated. 98, the hill size, a safety line guide. And the 5 judges, each marking out of 20, the highest and lowest marks taken away. The other 3 marks added to the distance points to give the total for each of the competitors. Reid Zuelke, the key man as the technical delegate here. And another lovely day in Lillehammer. Here we are at the northern end of the biggest lake in Norway. Absolutely gorgeous traveling up here from Oslo, the capital. Be it by coach, be it by train, you get a wonderful view of the lake and the fjords, and puts you really in a very, very good mood. The trial round has just finished. Front wind conditions. We started with gate 11. We ended up with gate 5. And Stefan Embacher, the best in terms of points, 94 meters. Nobody over 100 meters. But Stefan Embacher ahead of Kasper Tomasiak, Felix Truns and Jason Colby, occupying the first 4 places. They are the leading World Cup athletes involved in today's Junior World Championship. Also Ilya Mizernik of Kazakhstan in 6th place. Hector Kapustik of Slovakia, whose sister was involved yesterday in the women's individual competition, also in the top 10. 97 meters from Felix Truns, in fact 97.5. That was from gate 8. That compares with the 94 meters of Stefan Embacher from gate number 5. Stefan Embacher, Olympic gold medalist at Milan Cortina Palazzo with the or for the Austrians in the Super Team Cup. And Kasper Tomasiak, 2 silvers and a bronze, fantastic Olympics. And neither of them yet to win a individuals Winter World Cup. Stefan Embacher knocking on the door last weekend in Kulm, twice on 2 occasions behind the dominator Domen Preutz. As we get ready now for the first of 2 competition rounds. Only the best 30 to go through to the final round, which is the medal round. And this is all about gold, silver and bronze. So sit back with myself, David Goldstrom, and the FIS team. Enjoy this one. Glorious spring weather here. First man out on the hill today. Arthur Tirone of America to get us underway. This will be a fascinating first round here. Conditions really good. Three pages on the start list, and coming out of gate 9 for this, the first of the 2 competition rounds, and really to be in with a chance of the medal, you've got to be seriously above 90 meters, close to 100. Min Iorio for Italy from Gardena. Great day for spectating. Sadly for Min, less than 70 meters there, which is going to rule him out. And the backwind compensation coming in as the sun goes down behind the opposite mountain. Temperatures will drop, and backwind conditions tend to be the order of the day in this part of the world. Next man up here is the Swede Rickard Nyström. Rickard representing Sweden, narrowly going into first place. Rickard, who was actually born in Finland, but very quickly his family had moved to Sweden. Trains in Norway, and Stefan Kraft's his #1 idol, really. That's the man he follows, which is obviously meant that he's had disappointment, because Stefan having a really difficult part to the season, despite that one success in Falun. David Gal, Kazakhstan. Three pages on the start list, and all the athletes we're seeing now on the opening page here, they're all youngsters, they're all very much outsiders, age range from 15 to 20. But really encouraging, particularly from one or two nations, to see the new generations. United States, Henry Loa. Henry, who's only 17. Competed in the Junior Worlds last season. Got a bronze medal with the Americans in the team event. Now, this man can put in a decent performance. Lorenzo Mugnier-Cava, you'd think by his name he would represent Italy, but actually it's France. And I'm afraid, having built him up, this 16-year-old from Courchevel, less than 80 meters. Rickard Nyström of Sweden, the early leader. This is a fantastic competitor. This is Korawik Sande from Thailand, another 16-year-old. A sad story which hopefully one day will turn into something very special for this youngster. His dad died when he was very young, and his mum got married and moved to Finland, and he tried out a lot of sports, and ski jumping became and is his passion. He hopes one day to be Thailand's first Olympic ski jumper. Down in 7th place at the moment, and competed in the Junior World, so that is second outing. Comanescu for Romania, also small points. And Soya Graves, or Graves I should say, from Steamboat Springs. Lovely resort, sitting over 2,000 meters high in America. Wonderful place for world cross-country skiing and also powder snow. And 107 points for Soya. Puts him into first place. Soya with 87 meters, just to confirm that. Puri Keskinen for Finland. And Michael Villach for Slovakia. Valach, I should say, I apologize. And two-footed landing there. Has done most of his competitive activity in FIS Cup level. And if you're not too familiar, just let me reiterate, a lot of these youngsters, they started as children and then would have graduated through Alpine Cup to FIS Cup, and many of them looking forward to Continental Cup, ultimately World Cup and the World Championships at senior level, and of course the Olympic Games. Martin Cianetti now. And Cianetti representing Italy, over 80, but only by a couple of meters. And next up, Canada's Benjamin Lillehammer, his sister, younger sister, I should say. Reiner finished 18th, a little bit down on what we'd hoped for yesterday. This is the older brother representing Canada. "17 years of age, again, yet to break into the top 50 in any FIS Cup competition. Competed in Lake Placid last year, outside the top 50. And now Martino Zambenedetti, 20-year-old Italian. Little slip-slidey telemark there to try and convince the judges that he'd actually got it, but they weren't fooled. 15, 14 and a half, 15, 15, and 15 and a half will tell you if you don't put the telemark in, you lose automatically 3 points. And so at the moment, Sawyer Graves from the United States leading from Richard Neustrom. Henry Lower of the United States in third place. Artem Meshkov, Kazakhstan. Over 90 meters. Good effort, and this is going to put him into the lead. 18 years of age. Yet to finish in the top 30 of any FIS Cup competition. But another man who competed in the Junior Worlds last year, so familiar to the competition. Drushkiv, Vitaly Drushkiv of Ukraine. Another 16-year-old. Another man who went to Lake Placid in the United States to compete in the Junior Worlds. The Junior Worlds as a competition had its birth in 1977 in Saint-Croix in Switzerland. Pavel Fizek was the first man to ever win the Junior World individual men's title. Kurtila of Finland. A handsome lead there, 4 or 5 meters over, 5 in fact, over the calculation line. That's 10 points extra for distance, so 70 instead of 60. And the style marks are good, 17s from 4 of the judges. And that really makes a difference from gate 9. And he's taken a lead over Meshkov of Kazakhstan of some 11 points. So he's got a 5-meter advantage, and the jury deciding that the conditions are so favorable at the moment that they're going to come down with the gate. Shorter in run though. And that's a disappointment. It's always a disappointment to get anybody disqualified, but the new regime overseen at senior level by Matthias Havele has really paid dividends this year, ensuring that we have a fair competition amongst all the nations and the limitation of suits equal to all countries to help the sustainability. Oleksa Moseichuk for the Ukraine, one of several 15-year-olds. Really encouraging to see these youngsters at this level. Many of them will have arrived here knowing that the podium was beyond their reach, but with various personal targets and ranking positions. I'll come to those in a minute, but Noel Woodley of Switzerland now. Interesting to see what the judges make about that touchdown. Initially, I thought it was okay, but 16's the best that he's managed to attract in terms of marks, 77 meters. Kurtila of Finland with 95 meters leading the way from Meshkov of Kazakhstan. Puri Kukkonen now for Finland. With his teammate leading at the moment. And Luka Spulba for Romania, 17 years of age. FIS Cup is where he's been doing pretty well all of his work in the build-up to these championships. Into 18th place, 61 points. That's eternity behind the current leader. Now, one of the more experienced athletes, not that experienced, but Andero Cap. '20th last season in Lahti in the Continental Cup. Pretty well his best result so far. Cap into the lead with 88 meters. The reduced gate making a difference now. Or in fact, Cap going into third place. My apologies. Taiyo Mori for Japan. Japanese teammate to follow. Sota Himeno from Sapporo Nikon University. 25th in a recent FIS Cup competition in Skierk in Poland, which is not far away from Wisła. Kurtila with 95 meters still leading the way. Mats Strandbråten for Norway. '11th in the Youth Olympic Games in Gangwon in 2024. And top 25 last year in Lake Placid in the Junior Worlds. And little by little, we're getting closer to those who should have a say in the fight for the medals. Jakob Valseth now, more familiar with this hill than many. Star marks, I think, will be okay here. Distance is good, over 90 meters. 17 and a half, 17 and a half, 18, 17 and a half, up into second place. Norway tucking in behind Finland. The difference between the top two, 1.5 points. That's less than a meter. Konrad Tomasiak now, the younger brother of Kasper Tomasiak. This youngster only 16, and he's over 90 meters. 93 and a half meters for Konrad Tomasiak. Three brothers in the family, Casper, Conrad and Philip, who is training, as I understand it. Second, recently, Conrad in an Alpine Cup competition in Zakopane. Jerzy Czerny for the Czech Republic, close to 90 meters. Jakub Valseth into the lead now. Ahead of Kasper Tomasiak. Noah Studer, 3-4 meters short of the calculation line. 17 years of age from Kandersteg, which hosted the Junior World Championships. My memory serves me right, that was 2018. And Marius Lindvig, no less a man than the man who became Olympic champion, winning in Kandersteg. Odd Harald Svenningsen field. Just the wrong side of the calculation line. But up into third equal place at the moment. And I haven't mentioned for a moment Nelly Kurtila, but he's been disqualified as well. I haven't been given the reason, but just waiting for that to come through. That's terribly disappointing for the Finns. Thomas Gafrera, 96 healthy meters, good style, lovely touchdown, steady through the flight. Gafrera from Bischofshofen in Salzburger Land for Austria takes the lead. Saigo Sasaki in his third Junior World Championship bid. Well, we've been at gate 9, but now there is a determination by the jury to change the gate. That looked like one down, which is about half a meter less, which would be about 5.6 points. Yes, there it is. Now, those 5.6 points in favor of the athlete because they've got less run in which to build the speed. But of course, those points they can set against any front wind deductions to reduce that particular problem. Seigo Sasaki, Japan. 83.6 kilometers of in-run speed. Just over 81 meters. And the leader, Thomas Gafrera, just to give you an idea, from gate 9, was generating 84.4 kilometers. Elias Arnold for Switzerland. So many of these youngsters inspired by a lot of top international athletes, but also, of course, by Simon Oman and Gregor Deschwanden. Elias over 80, but not near to 90, as you can see. Only 101 points, and the leader, Gafrera from Austria, 124 points. 3 meters ahead of Valseth of Norway. Alex Reiter for Germany, from the Oberstdorf Ski Club. 2 top 30s in Continental Cup competitions, and over 90 meters. And there you can see the gate and wind combination, giving him backwind compensation. Maxi Gardner, top 10 in the Youth Olympic Games in 2024 in China. And really, to be involved in the fight for medals, you've got to be very close, at least at this moment in time, to 95 meters, more if you can. Next up, Julian Auinger from Hinsenbach in Upper Austria. Austria challenging Austria at the moment, 92 points, 92 meters to get into the lead. That upper red line there, and he was 4, 5, 6 meters away from that. Still, a good number of these competitors have been competing so far, mostly in Alpine Cup, FIS Cups, and Ili Karanen now for Finland. This target is quite achievable at the moment to put yourself in contention. That's low 80s though. So Austria leading from Alex Reiter of Germany, Valseth of Norway down to 3rd place. Kalinkin for Kazakhstan, 2-footed landing, and he, I'm afraid, will not make the 30 for the final round. My Zakelsek for Slovenia now. Yet to score points at Continental Cup level. Close to 90. Not, I think, quite there. No, indeed, half a meter short. And really interesting amongst the judges, from 15.5 to 17. But that's why we have 5 judges, and that's why the high and the low mark are taken away, to get rid of any anomalies. And now Simnic, Urban Simnic for Slovenia. Nice, really tight tuck there. Good in-run speed. And Simnic, well, close to 90 meters. Just outside the top 20 in, not this season, but the season before in Lillehammer on this very hill. And 4th in the Junior Worlds last season, and a silver medal with the team in Lake Placid. Hiyuma Fuse for Japan. Still ways to go in this first round. So many close to, but short of 90 meters. Now watch out for this man. Next man up here, Jan Krulman from Hinterzarten in the trial round. 97 meters from gate number 8. That's the gate we're at the moment. That's just what he needs now. Lovely balance and flight, and that is really good. Not 98, but well over 90, 94 meters. Hinterzarten in the Schwarzwald, of course. Very much associated with summer ski jumping. A great learning venue. And next man here, Jaka Kramer for Slovenia. From Lubno. Kulman into the lead with 126 points, ahead of Grafera of Austria. Jaka Kramer, 94 meters, like the man who just preceded him, into 3rd place, though. Things now are beginning to really warm up. Courchevel, represented by Anoki Poradier. And a response there, and a good response for Pourradier. Further in distance than Kuhlmann, the current leader, 95 meters. Star marks, 17s. Only 1.9 points, just under a meter's worth of compensation, but he's in the right territory at the moment. Nicholas Hummel for Austria. Hummel, runner-up in the Youth Olympic Games in 2024. Top 10 in the Junior Worlds last year in Lake Placid, but there'll be no top 10 this time. Sub 80 meters. Sorry, I was talking about Hummel, but in fact it's Mitchell Penning from Canada. That's really disappointing for him. Estonia now, and Kaimar Vagul. Good effort by Kaimar. Has been, or has had, a couple of opportunities in the World Cup in Oberstdorf last season. The opening round of the Vierschanzen, he didn't make the final round, but he did qualify, and he's put himself and Estonia into the lead here. The Estonians, of course, with a similar size hill in Otepää, have traditionally worked closely with the Finns, but also the Norwegians. Arti Aigro in particular, their number one in terms of World Cup, works closely with the Norwegians, and now going down another gate, and 11.2 points of compensation now. Korea. Really good to see this man, Jang Sun Wong, in his third Junior Worlds. Got some Continental Cup points in Zhang Liakov this season in the Continental Cup competitions that were held there. And 87.5 meters with the compensation. A lot changing in the order as a result of those 11 points on the change of gate. Janni Holst from gate number 7. .90 meters. Well, at the moment, our computers are, I would say, dodgy at the moment, so I'll just take a pause on the leaderboard. 94 meters is the target to get into the lead. And that's Tarek van Rieren from the famous Altius Club, another who was top 10 in the Youth Olympic Games in 2024 and scored good points in the Continental Cup, top 20 in Zhang Liakov this season. But now we really get into the heart of this competition with the favoured World Cup competitors coming through very soon. Lukaszczyk for Poland. And Kamil Vasek. Lucas, by the way, the man who just finished coming back from an injury, well, a couple of seasons ago, and Vasek there. 84 meters, but stand by for a debutant in the Junior Worlds. Lassi Daimel for Germany. His dad, Jens, was a ski jumper, competed in World Cup and the Olympic Games. You have to be well over 90 meters now. Lasse Daimel into fourth place. Daniel Skorka for now for the Czech Republic. Another who got decent Continental Cup points in Zhang in China this year, top 20. Out of the competition in terms of vying for medals, unfortunately. Now the next man, Oddvar Gunnerud, 93.5 meters in the trial round, representing Norway. Familiar with this hill, nice and calm coming off the table, but really not enough meters. Lukas Horgen for Austria. Just outside the top 30 this season in the World Cup in Villingen. That was a decent result, and Horgen for Austria, over 90 meters, keeps him alive in the competition. And according to the computer, you can see it's those 18 points, which is an extra 9 meters. That's why he's gone into the lead. Ene Faletic for Slovenia. Over 90. But again, well, I said over 90. In fact, just the wrong side, 88 meters for Ene. And now stand by for athletes who were or have been in the World Cup. Hector Kapustik for Slovakia in his fourth Junior Worlds. And that's a decent effort from Kapustik. 94 meters in the trial round, 2 meters less here. But look at the 13 points, that boosts it up there, almost 6-7 meters for Kapustik, putting him up into the top 5. And Felix Strunz, 97.5 meters from gate 8. Well, we're down to gate 7 now. Representing Switzerland, Felix Strunz, World Cup points in Sapporo this year. 23rd in Japan, his best ever. And that's a good response from Felix Strunz. Now, it all depends on the compensation. 5 meters worth of compensation, balanced out between the gate adjustments and the wind. And Strunz up into the silver medal position at the moment. Ilya Mazurnik for Kazakhstan, Youth Olympic Games champion in 2024. And that's a good effort from Mazurnik. 93 meters in the trial round. This is a little better, half a meter better for the 19-year-old Kazakh who went to Lake Placid for the Junior Worlds last season, finished 11th. And much promise from him, a 20th place finish in Innsbruck. And this man, Jason Colby, the #1 for America at World Cup level, top 10, 7th in Engelberg before Christmas in the World Cup. Jason Colby. 93.5 meters on the trial. 98 meters right here, right now. 19 years of age from Steamboat Springs. 4th in the Continental Cup last season in Lillehammer. And Jason Colby at the top of the table. Now Kasper Tomasiak not one, not two, but 3 Olympic medals, 2 silvers and a bronze, twice 5th in the World Cup. Kasper Tomasiak, and that is fantastic. The star marks will be excellent. Right up there with Colby's distance of 98 meters, and these will be the best star marks we've seen. Indeed, coming up 19, 19, 19, 18 and a half. He's going to need really good marks, because here comes Stefan Embacher, the defending world champion, the man looking for a 3rd consecutive title, Olympic gold medalist, 3rd in the 4 hills, twice runner-up in Kroom in the World Cup last season, or last weekend, I should say. And he's up at 98 meters. So, a great finish to the first round here from Tomasiak, from Colby, and from Stefan Embacher. And Embacher, with 16.7 points, has got into the lead narrowly, less than 4 points, so less than 2 meters ahead of Tomasiak. And Jason Colby, he's 7 points, not quite 4 meters off the lead. And those are the 3 who are at the moment in gold, silver and bronze. And these are the 30 who will go forward to the medal round. Hector Kapustik there, 20 points off, 10 meters to find. But ranking positions are important. There's Konrad Tomasiak, Kasper's brother, 16 meters behind the leaders, but ranking positions count in terms of future support and funding. And these men outside the top 30, unfortunately, they're joining you and me as spectators for the medal round. Only 30 to go through to the final round. And really disappointed, particularly for the 2 boys disqualified there. I'll try to find out the particular reasons. Andy Kapp as well, disqualified for Estonia through suit manipulation. And 5:45, the start time for the final rounds. So the boys at this particular moment have got 20 minutes to get themselves together, the 30 who've qualified. And there, this just gives you a really good idea of spring in Lillehammer. The sun going down now behind the mountain, and conditions for the final round will, I suspect, be rather different, more backwind than anything else. So Stefan Embacher of Austria, the winner of this title for the last 2 seasons, in pole position, so to speak. Stefan Embacher from the Kitzbühel Ski Club. And there's some very famous athletes, not, well, rarely from ski jumping. Tony Seiler, one of the great legends, the Blitz from Kitz. Very much for the downhill Hahnenkamm. Hansi Hinterseer, great slalom champion for Austria in the early 2000s. Leonard Stock, Olympic downhiller in 2080, all of them hailing from the Kitzbühel Ski Club. And Stefan Embacher, well, I'm not sure whether they've written his name on the Roll of Honor, but he is an Olympic champion in the Super Team Cup, so inevitably he will be on the Kitzbühel Club Roll of Honor. And he's only 20, and he was 19 on the 1st of January, which allowed him to qualify for this 3rd attempt. Many might have thought, well, he'll go to the World Cup in Lahti, which of course is underway with the women's competitions today, and the men have 2 competitions, individuals tomorrow and Saturday, and the Super Team Cup on Sunday. Many would have thought, well, maybe he and Kasper Tomasiak would make that their target, but they've chosen the Junior World Championships. And I mentioned that the Junior World Championships have been going since 1977. Embacher, the winner of the last 2 editions in Lake Placid and Planica in 2024. Vilho Palasari of Finland, who sadly isn't in great form at the moment. He was champion in 2023. Daniel Schöffenig of Austria, champion in Zakopane in 2022. Nicholas Bachlinger of Austria, champion in Lahti in 2021. And then Peter Ressinger of Austria, 2020 in Oberwiesenthal. Thomas Marcan, sadly now retired. He was the champion of the Junior Worlds individually in 2019 in Lahti. Marius Lindvig, I mentioned, the Junior World Champion in 2018 in Kandersteg. Viktor Polasek, the last of the Czechs to win this in 2017. Park City at altitude. David Siegel for his country, Raznov, the venue for the 2016 triumph. And then Forfang, Johan Andre Forfang, the winner of the Junior Worlds in Almaty in, of course, Turkey, close to Erzurum in 2015. Jakub Volny in 2014 for Poland. Jacek Chwala in Liberec in 2013. Vladimir Zagrawski, 2011 in Otapa. Mickey Heibeck in 2010 in Hinterzarten. Roman Kudelka, 2007 in Planica. Gregor Schlierenzau, 2006 in Kran in Slovenia. Thomas Morgenstern in Sollefteå in Sweden in 2003. Wolfgang Leutzel in St. Moritz in 1998. Jani Ahonen, the winner in Harachov and Breitenbang in 93-94 for Finland. Heinz Kutin, coach of the German ladies ski jumping team, Saarfelden, 1988. Ernst Vettori, another great athlete. Murau, the venue of his success in 1982. Matti Nykänen and Schönach in the Schwarzwald in 1981. Horst Bullau for Canada, 1979 in Mont-Saint-Anne. And Pavel Visek, the first ever junior world champion in 1977 in Saint Croix. Well, those are the ones who won the title. 1 or 2 other names. Nicolas Desum, who's the head coach of the French senior team, silver medalist in 1994. A year earlier, Andy Vidhersel took the silver in 1993 in Harachov. And it just gives you an idea of where the junior worlds fit in terms of stepping stones towards the likes of the senior world championships. Peter Preuts, runner-up to Mickey Heibeck in 2010. That was in Hinterzarten. Andy Wellinger, runner-up to Andre Forfang, or Johan Andre Forfang in 2015 in Almaty. So just some of those who've been successful. Jonas Schuster, runner-up to Vilho Palasari in 2023 on Whistler Mountain in Canada. So there is the time for the start of the final round. We'll be back momentarily to set up the best 30 going in reverse order. And as you can see, the sun has virtually disappeared. That temperature will drop The conditions will change, and so this will be a different final round.
Yes, can you ask to Swiss timing for the list? You know? Oh, thank you. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, perfect. Yes. Okay. Thank you.
Да, чуть-чуть немножко не успел, Илюх. Чуть-чуть самую концовочку. Все хорошо, картин, все было, немножко не успел, поэтому концовка такая она. Раз и сюда все это как подернул. Я не снимал, это на туре снимал, но там видно, что чуть раскочил. Здесь надолбил потом, раскочил и там то, что сюда немножко начал догонять, немного левой лужи стало под собой держать мало. Под собой держал вот так. Сейчас я точно. Вот так. 5:45. Да, Капутник. Словак. Техника хорошая. Все нормально. И накачанный дайвинг.
It's okay. Yeah, I just felt some walking. Why not? It's 11 nations and the start list and the results. And also the start list is here. For no, it was like this. I have to check it first. Before TCM. Tomorrow is TCM. When they have to, so Friday we have TCM at 5. I mean F2. So yeah, they also have a training, but yes, but if they already know, they can give it. Yes. You will need more. Yes, you will need more for this. Okay. That's a good round. Good one. So you talked with him, you arranged for the mixed team? Yes. Yeah. No, he doesn't have a team. That's why. Yes, that's why we were getting this. So you will just write it. The team. Woman, man. And yeah, you just write it on the paper and give it to him, and then he. Oh, if I have something. Oh. You have something? Okay.
Thank you.
As soon as possible. Well, it is no, for the men it is schedule, but I don't know if it should be at 12. Yes, this is Saturday, but tomorrow before TCM we need this. Because yes, at TCM there is a confirmation of the start list, so before the TCM.
Well, welcome once again to Lillehammer for the decisive medal round of this men's individual junior world championship of 2026. I'm David Goldstrom together with the FIS team, and the 30 who've qualified are those who have a chance to shoot for a medal. But in reality, we're really talking about predominantly the last three to jump on this normal hill. If you happen to be just joining us, well, delighted to have your company and always welcome to have you aboard FIS TV. 30 athletes separated by 20 meters from the 30th. Sawyer Graves of the United States in 30th place. Stefan Embacher, the leader, defending champion at the end of the first round. And Stefan Embacher with a distance of 98 meters, the same as the man in second place, Kasper Tomasiak, 98 meters. And also Jason Colby of the United States, 98 meters. separated by 3.5 meters, but the real big difference was the gate change from 7 to 6 for Stefan Embacher, and that meant his compensation points went up to 16.8 compared to 11.2 for Tomasiak, and ultimately that earned him a lead of 3.5 points, which is, well, less than 2 meters, so all to play for. The sun has gone down behind the mountain, more likely to have backwind here. So the distances will be critical. Getting the telemark will be absolutely vital to avoid any deductions for that particular error, or failure, I should say. And we're almost set to go, just 2-3 minutes. And these are the 30 in the order they will go for this final round. Sawyer, as I mentioned, 20 meters off the lead. No chance to reach the podium, but to get a really good ranking position, or as high as he possibly can, that will be the objective of the exercise for Sawyer and those who immediately follow him. Good mix of countries still alive in this competition. 30 athletes from 15 nations. We started with 21 nations in this competition, which is very healthy. A few mums and dads here to see their youngsters. And Robert Selbach Hansen, the chief of competition with the local knowledge here, almost set to go. The hill record, by the way, 107.5 meters, set by Germany's Karl Geiger in 2013. More often than not, the hill that's used here in World Cup competition. It's the large hill these days, both for the men and the women. (1994), Espen Bredesen got the Olympic gold on the normal hill, and then in the following year, 1995, Janne Ahonen, a winner in the World Cup here, with Mika Laitinen of Finland winning another competition, respectively, 2nd and 3rd of December. 2013, Gregor Schlierenzau was a winner on this normal hill. 2015, the most recent time that the normal hill was used, Kenneth Gangenes of Norway, Severin Freund of Germany, winners on this hill. That's the history. This is the future. Youngsters ranging from the age of 15 to 20, who will be surely the headliners, and some of them already are in their own way. And Sawyer for the United States. Sawyer Graves moves out to get us underway. This 17-year-old from Steamboat Springs. Gate 8. And let's have a look at the wind compensation here. That will play a part. 4 points, 2 meters. Green is backwind, red is front wind. And next out here, Canada's Tarek van Vieren. Really good to see a Canadian youngster, particularly with the rather disappointing noise that Mr. Boyd Close is retiring. That's only 2 or 3 meters short of the calculation line. Pretty well the same as his American predecessor, but with the advantage from the first round and a little more backwind compensation, Canada go ahead of America. Kazakhstan now, Meshkov. Meshkov with a Very narrow advantage, not even half a meter his advantage over Van Veeren. Interesting to see what the judges make of this 16s and 17s, I would think. 87 meters. Good enough to hold his ranking position, starting in 27th place, and now Odd Harald Svenningsen, field of Norway, to take his turn. Second Junior Worlds for him. Meshkov, though, still will have the advantage. And everything just a little quiet at the moment. Now the man from Hinsenbach, 18 years of age, runner-up quite recently in an Alpine Cup competition in Kran. That's really the entry level after children's. Julian Auinger, and 84 meters there for him. Backwind just a little bit stronger. That will add some compensation points. 3 or 4 meters. And 8.6 points, that's 4 meters, and that pushes him up into second place. And Artyom Meshkov of Kazakhstan still moving up the table, a mini march, and those ranking positions are really important. Fuse now for Japan. (18 years of age, high school pupil. Who we wonder in years to come will be the new Noriaki Kasai, the new Ryoyo Kobayashi, the new Ren Nikaido. 86 meters for Hyuma Fuse. Simnic of Slovenia. 89 meters in the first round. Now can do a lot better than that. Well, it looked to be just over 90 meters, but it's the wrong side of the calculation line by half a meter. That he will find pretty disappointing. And you can see there, change of wind, a breath of front wind, 0.6, it's about a 25 centimeter deduction. And so too Kamil Wacek of Poland. Their big hope, of course, is Kasper Tomasiak, lying in silver at the moment. There's the target, over 88 meters, but to be really competitive, 100 would be really useful at this moment in time. That's over 90. 92 meters. And with his advantage over the field from the first round into first place, 228.3, that's a respectable score. And this is really good to see Zhang of Korea into the final round. The Koreans, who we thought would be real challengers when they were brought through at World Cup level by the legendary Jochen Danneberg from the German Democratic Republic. Jochen Danneberg, a four hills champion in his time, Olympic medalist, and just as they started to get successful, the Korean Federation decided to do it themselves and lose the services of Jochen Dannenberg, and I think that was a big mistake. Kamil Waszek leading the way at the moment for Poland. Fair way to go. Maxi Gartner now for Italy. Not really going to make a big impression there, unfortunately. Outside the top 30 at last year's Junior World, so in one sense an improvement because he's inside the top 30 this time. Zakelšek for Slovenia. Again, really needing some big meters. It would really wake this competition up if somebody can get into the very high 90s now. In-run speed is healthy at 84.5, and he's missed out as well, short of that upper red line. Well, he was in 19th place, and here comes the youngster, the younger brother of Kasper Tomasiak. Who knows which Tomasiak will end up being the best in the family, but at the moment Kasper, with 3 Olympic medals already, heading in the right direction. This is Conrad, 2 years younger and very promising. Unfortunately for him, like a few who just preceded him, short of that calculation line. And Poland first and third at the moment. Kamil Waszek moving up the order. Now this man can make things happen. Jakob Valseth for Norway. Cheer as well, but backwind. Needed much more to really make an impression. Sub 90 meters, backwind compensation coming his way, but he would need an awful lot of it to really make a big impression. You can see there 4 meters of it, 233.7. It does put him into first place, but he's not going to hold on to that for too long. Janne Holtz now 17th at the halfway stage, but in fact 14 meters behind the half-time leader Stefan Effenbacher. That was better. Janne Holtz, 19 years of age, representing Germany from Degenfeld. Twice in the top 30 in Continental Cup competitions here. And sets a new target now. We're just short of 250 points. And for one German athlete to another, Alex Reiter. And Reiter's advantage over his teammate, well, 0.1 of a point. It's not even a fingernail. And Janne Holtz with the better of that particular argument, surely. 4.5 meters better. So Alex Reiter has to settle for second, but Germany at this moment in time are first and second. Valseth from Norway drops into third place. Faletic for Slovenia. Now, subpar, well below his standard in the first flight. Again, given that so many better men are to come, needed more. splits the Germans, and from one Slovenian to another, Jaka Kramer next to follow up now. Kramer, can he do what Faletic was unable to do, which is to get himself to the top of the table? He only needs to get across the calculation line, and that he's done. Well, I was pretty sure he had, but he hasn't. 89 meters into second place. Janne Holz of Germany moving up, and Kramer of Slovenia second. Faletic is third, and Reiter off the podium. And now we're getting pretty serious now. Anoki Pouradier for France. Pouradier. Well, really determined to make sure he got the telemark, and that's going to give him at least 17s. Kisses 90 meters. Pouradier in 13th place at the halfway stage, and still Janne Holz clinging on to the lead by 0.9 of a point. Pouradier up into silver, and Jaka in bronze, and now Lasse Daimel for Germany. Surely able to make a difference. Daimel, whose dad competed in the 1992 Olympic Games on the hills in Courchevel, part of the Albertville Olympics. He was just outside the top 30, and in terms of World Cup, his best result was 11th in Planica in the early 90s. Now Thomas Grafera for Austria. Well, the lining was solid, but interesting to see what the judges make of that. Was it or was it not a telemark? It's not enough for Grafera. Oddvar Gunnerud for the host nation, lying in 10th place, 12 meters behind Stefan Embacher, the half-time leader. And this is really where the fight for the medals begins. Something special now, could give him an outside chance of a bronze, maybe. And there it is, asked and answered. Just what the Norwegian fans were looking for. 95.5 meters, and that handsomely puts him into first place. Oddvar Gunnerud, no stranger to this hill, and he's set the target, 256.5. Janne Holz into silver, Pouradier for France into bronze. Here we go. Now, Jan Kuhlmann, pretty consistent. Kuhlmann representing Germany. Trained well, trialed well. The man from Hinterzarten, only 90 meters. Pushes Pouradier off the podium and takes third place with 90.5 meters. And the star marks are okay, but the distance was too short. And now Hector Kapustik. His sister Kira, who was one of the favorites yesterday for the women's title. Oh, that's really nice to see from Kapustik, representing Slovakia. Mid-90s, 95.5. had an advantage over Gunnar Road from the first round. Not huge, but a point, half a meter, 8.8 points of backwind compensation. And he takes a, what, 3.5, 4, 5, 2.5 meter lead over Gunnar Road. Janne Holtz of Germany down to third. Now Ilya Mazurnik, Kazakhstan. Looking for that hill size of 98 meters, 2 or 3 meters short of that, but mid-90s. But all of these men know that those who were leading at the halfway stage are still the car. Mazurnik goes into first place with 95 meters. Star marks 1, 2, 3 marks of 18. And now Estonia, Kaima Vagul has gone really well to be in 6th place at the halfway stage. 97.5 meters. That's a really tall target for him. Kaima Vagul. Well, the distance is not bad. The telemark was scrappy. So pluses and minuses. And he pushes Oddvar Gunnerud off the podium, and there are no more Norwegian chances now. Switzerland, Austria, United States, Poland. Those are the countries left in the competition. So here we go. Felix Truns for Switzerland. World Cup form, having his best season ever. And that's a decent effort by the 19-year-old. Star marks won't be worse than 17, could be 18. 95 meters. Truns chasing Mizernik and Kapustik. And Truns with points advantage from the first round over Mizernik of 3 points, and that's helped him into the lead. And now Lukas Horgan for Austria. 4th this season in a very good Continental Cup in Eisenherz on Austrian snow. A real confidence boost, that particular result, and this is a good performance. Really nice over the skis, stable. The Fishers were excellent, and he's got the lead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 marks of 18, a distance of 94 meters. And then, as they say, there were 3. 1 for the United States. Hold your breath now. It's Jason Colby from Steamboat Springs. If you're there in Steamboat Springs, cross your fingers for this talented 19-year-old, America's #1 in the world of ski jumping.
Yes, just now.
And Jason Colby, only 20 years of age now. Jason Colby, 96 meters. The style is there, a medal is his. There are only 2 more to go, and Jason Colby, 9th in the Junior Worlds in Lake Placid last year, is a Junior World medalist. He got a bronze last year with the American team, but individually, could it be better? And now a coach request for Kasper Tomasiak. 5.6 points of points in his favor for Kasper. Tomasiak from gate 7, banking on front wind, so that gate compensation will cancel any deductions out. And Kasper Tomasiak, triple Olympic gold medalist, 19 years of age. And Kasper Tomasiak, surely with 97 meters. Colby had 96. There was the best part of 2 meters to separate him and Colby at the halfway stage, and now a piece of history in the making. Stefan Embacher of Austria, the winner of the last 2 editions of the Junior Worlds, going for the hat-trick. And Stefan Embacher, also 20 years of age, turned 20 in January, and the star marks will be very solid, and the distance is exactly what he needed. 98.5 meters, 15.8 points of compensation coming out of gate 7, and the order at the end of the final round is exactly, in terms of the first 3, where we were at half-time. Stefan Embacher of Austria is champion of the Junior Worlds for the 3rd year in a row. Kasper Tomasiak, another silver medal. Already 2 Olympic silvers and a bronze. And well done, Jason Colby, for the United States, getting a medal, and well deserved on a season in which he's really announced himself in the World Cup, top 10 in Engelberg before Christmas. And Lucas Hogan there, you can see, in 4th place. Always horrible to finish 4th, but if there is a consolation, he was 9 points behind Colby, and that relates to 4.5 meters. Felix Truntz, respectable in 5th place. And Felix Truntz, who was 20th in the Junior Worlds in Planica a couple of seasons ago, going in the right direction. And Ilya Mizernik of Kazakhstan in 6th place. Ilya Mizernik, who was 11th in the Junior Worlds last season, well, he's top 10 this time. And Hector Kapostik of Slovakia in 7th place. And again, that's a personal best for him in the Junior Worlds, because he was 19th in Whistler Mountain in 2023. That's the highest he's ever finished in the Junior Worlds. So one could say that the competition was, in a sense, predictable, with such strong athletes with World Cup experience and good form coming into the Junior Worlds. But for a lot of the athletes, they've had the opportunity, the youngsters, those who've been competing in Alpine Cup and Continental Cup, to measure themselves against some of the best.
Junior World Champions, what were your expectations today?
Well, I felt good, and but I knew there are some other guys who are jumping good as well. But yeah, I did a great job today. I had 2 really good jumps, and yeah, I'm really happy.
What went through your mind when you were sitting on the bar?
Well, nothing else than on the other jumps. Just I have to keep my things together, and then everything will be fine.
Thank you, congratulations.
Thanks.
Well, it would have been nice to hear how he decided to come to the Junior Worlds as opposed to staying in the World Cup, which many of you will know is underway in Lahti in Finland at the moment. Nina Lucy looking after the
Jason,
Women's World Cup.
congratulations, 2nd medal at the Junior World Championships in a row. How do you feel?
Yeah, it feels great. I'm happy I was able to put down 2 good jumps.
You have a Norwegian coach, it almost feels like home.
It is, yeah. I have an apartment here and live here for most of the year, so it's extra special.
What were your expectations coming here?
I guess none. Obviously, you want to just do as well as you can, and yeah, it turned out well.
Thank you, congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, delighted for Jason. There's a really good stepping stone, and as he said, he's part of an American team which for 4 seasons has been working closely with the Norwegians, and it's not perhaps paid all the benefits this year except for him.
Kasper, 2 medals at the Olympics and now 1 medal at the Junior Worlds. How do you feel?
Quite good, but the jumps weren't perfect. But well, I think it was the good rivalry between me and Stefan, and I'm happy with the results.
What were your expectations coming here?
Well, to earn a medal, but I was thinking between 1st and 2nd place, but I knew it will be hard to score gold, and yeah, and I didn't do it, but I'm not upset about it.
What's the next for the end of the season?
Well, I think I will start in the World Cup till the end in every weekend. I think so. There are still some competitions to do, but so hopefully it will be good.
Congratulations and good luck.
Thank you.
Yeah, Kasper, who's yet to get to grips with ski flying. I think that'll come in time, but he wasn't involved in Oberstdorf in the Senior World Championships, and we didn't see him in Kulm in the World Cup. So I guess we won't see him in Vikersund or indeed in Planica, but it's been a wonderful season, and he's been the headliner while Kamil Stoch and David Kubacki and maybe Piotr Żeła are coming towards the end of their careers. Well, we know that Kamil Stoch is in his final season. It's great to see the Polish have a new champion in prospect in the shape and form of Kasper, and of course his young brother Konrad also in the competition. And for him, I think a pretty decent first Junior Worlds. Well, I hope you've enjoyed the action from Lillehammer. Team events, women tomorrow, men on Saturday, mixed team on Sunday. For myself, David Goldstrom, and the team, thanks for your company. For the moment, bye-bye from Lillehammer.